Weirdo, you got your question ready in case we have time? I'm not promising that we will have time, but it's always important you have a good question ready for any guest we have on the show.
Yeah, I got one ready.
All right. What does it entail? Just so we don't want to ask it first and ruin it for you.
It was something about how she sang a Tom Waits song in season 3.
Oh, great. I'm sure we'll have time for that question.
Sweet.
I'll tell you right now, there will be no time for that. That's for sure. All right.
Nice and obscure, as always.
Before we say hi to Emily Kinney, find out all that's going on in Masters of Sex and post-Walking Dead stuff, we should mention that we are searching for the best dad bod in the Bay, and you're running out of time to get involved in that if you think you're rocking a dad bod, or you maybe have a dad who's got one of them dad bods you hear so much about these days. They can compete tomorrow and get you sold-out Taylor Swift tickets. It is probably the first and last time this radio station will ever give out Taylor Swift tickets.
Oh, really?
It'll be
so fun, though.
Part of history just to make that happen. All right. Get ready, useless weirdo. It's almost your time to shine. Emily Kinney is on Twitter at Emmy Kinney, and she was Beth for many seasons in The Walking Dead, and now she's all sorts of naked on Masters of Sex. Emily, hi.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you? I've already gotten death threats today because I revealed what happened to your character in The Walking Dead, and I thought enough time had passed, and apparently not.
No.
But can't people realize when you've moved on to a new project that probably things didn't go well?
I know. Yeah, they're just intense, you know. The Walking Dead fans are very loyal and intense, but they should know by now.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it, too. Like, if
After
they're
a
that big of a fan, I mean, come on. It did happen recent in the scheme of things, but it's been at least months now. And plus, like, I got it spoiled for me before I saw the episode, and that was the day the episode aired for the first time. So I feel like that's your job, is to spoil it for other people, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now is a safe time to be like, okay, spoiler alert, but like, really, you should know by now.
Yeah, also Ned Stark is dead.
Oh, yeah, we should point that out, too. It's got to be strange, though, when you go out after something like that happens and people then see you out and about, and you have people that probably come up and, like, hug you and whatnot because they're like, oh, my God, you're alive.
Yeah, people are like, oh, my God. I think they're just, like, they went through this whole thing in their living room at home where they were, like, sad and crying. You know, so many people come up to me and say, oh, like, I just, like, cried during that episode. And I think then when they see me in person, they always are like, oh, my God, you know, it's kind of like a relief.
You're like, I'm just trying to buy a sandwich. Leave me alone.
No, it's nice. It's nice to know people connect with your work.
It's got to be cool, though, that now you get to actually wear clothing that is not covered in blood and filthy, right?
Yeah, I have to say it's been pretty fun, Masters of Sex, like, getting to... Well, this season takes place in the 60s, and, like, I get to wear, you know, makeup and cool clothes and period clothes, and it's pretty fun to, like, go to work and be like, I'm always talking to the makeup artist, being like, now, what's that you're doing? What's that? Like, it's so... As opposed to, like, with Walking Dead, it was like you're just covered in dirt and, like, fake tanner and, like, you know, just anything to make you look like you've been out on the road for a long time and, or sick or crying, you know, like... But it's fun to be on this show and get to kind of and look pretty and dress up, and it's fun.
Yeah, and then you can put all those clothes on, and then you get to take them off because there's all these sex scenes. Is it when you're joining all these? When you're joining a cast of people that have been doing all these sex scenes for so long, do you feel like everybody else is like used to it? They're like, oh yeah, nipples out, genitals out. And is it something that you had to get used to, or what, did it come easy to you?
I mean, I think being on a set where they have to deal with it all the time, they definitely have, like, a certain protocol they follow. They have, like, you know, we go through the scenes very specifically, like, they're very, like, respectful on set. And, I mean, I don't know. I think it is something they deal with a lot, obviously, if you watch the show. So they know how to do it in a way that's, like, very comfortable. So... It doesn't seem like that big a deal. They do like the closed sets where they'll say like, oh, you know, we're going to do a closed set today, right? Because we have to shoot a sex scene or a nude scene. Yeah, like so hardly anyone's there, and you know that kind of thing. I always feel bad for like the lighting guy that thinks he's like a big part of the production, and they're like, you won't need to come in today, Bruce. Like it's a closed set.
I remember one time I did a sex or a naked scene, and they give you a robe until the very last second. Did they do that? Yeah, I mean, on this show, yeah, I think that's definitely part of the, you know,
thing is you don't, like, if you're rehearsing and stuff like that, there's no...
Yeah, they want to make you comfortable.
Like, the shot, like,
yeah.
the very moment. Yeah.
Talking to Emily Kinney, who was Beth on Walking Dead for many seasons. Now she's in Masters of Sex. You've developed quite an interesting fan base now. The zombie stuff and the sex stuff, you pretty much got everyone covered.
Yeah, it's like a whole array. I mean, I love the Walking Dead fans. They're so cool. They're always like willing to check out new projects. And
what does Emily do when she's not working or doing music or doing shows? Why don't you just like take some time? And what's the last like relaxing thing you did?
I'm having a lot of fun working right now. But you're right. I haven't actually taken much of a vacation. But yeah, I find like ways to have little breaks. Like last night, I had like a nice dinner with a friend, and we hung out and went to Target, and I mean that was like a fun, relaxing little break that I needed.
Yeah, go to Target, pick up a puzzle.
Have little breaks. What's that?
Exactly. What's that? Well said. Emily Kinney, currently on Masters of Sex as Nora, a sex surrogate. I'm looking into that. Anywho, check her out on Twitter at Emily Kinney. Thanks for chatting. And I'm sorry that Beth died on The Walking Dead. I really enjoyed that character.
Beth is dead.
Just to reiterate.